The one question I ask all my clients who are dealing with family estrangement is this: regardless of the response you get, can you still feel good about the decision you made and how you handled yourself? Because with estrangement, it can feel like you only have two options. Either you can keep trying, keep hurting, keep hoping they respond, or you stop trying, feel really guilty about giving up, and worrying that maybe you're making things worse. There's a third way, and it doesn't involve overgiving or completely cutting ties. Hi, I'm Dr. Jan Anderson. I'm a psychologist with a business background, and over half my practice is working with family estrangement. Many parents have been sending gifts, cards, letters of apology for years and getting no response, radio silence. So, what do you do when it feels like continuing to reach out is begging, but if you give up and stop trying, that feels wrong too? I created a tool to help you figure out what's the right move for you. I call it the dilemma worksheet. Here's how it works. It starts with a simple formula. If I send a gift, what do I get from that, and what does it cost me? If I don't send a gift, what do I get, and what does it cost me? Here's an example of a mom trying to figure out whether to send a gift to her estranged daughter after 2.5 years of sending cards, letters, gifts, and getting no response. So I asked her, if you send a gift this time, what will you get? And she said, I'll get letting her know that I still care about her, I'm thinking about her, and I'm hoping that this time she'll respond. And then I asked, what will it cost you to send a gift this time? And she said, uncertainty. Will I get a response? How long will I have to wait? Is this ever going to change? Will it ever get any better? And then I said, what if you don't send a gift? What do you get from that? And she said, well, for a few moments, I feel better. I feel a little lighter, like I stood up for myself, set a boundary, but it very quickly flips into massive guilt and worrying that maybe I'm making this worse. So both of these options got her something, but gosh, was the cost of each of these options awfully high. So she was really stuck. We needed to take a further step. So here's what we did next. This mom's two pain points were how much guilt she would feel if she didn't send a gift, and how vulnerable it made her feel to reach out again and risk rejection. So I asked her, is there a better option between those two extremes that would feel better? And here's what she said. Well, my usual MO is over the top gifts. What if I sent just one small gift with a nice card? So I asked her, what will you get if you send a small gift with a simple card? And she said, I'll get less guilt because I don't think I can live with the guilt if I do nothing. But I will feel less vulnerable. So that sounded pretty good. So I said, okay, what will it cost you to send one small gift with a simple card? And she had to think about it a moment. And what she could come up with, and this is all that she could come up with, is, well, that will be really different. So I said, I'm going to ask you that question again, what you get, what it cost you, but we're going to add a little brain science to it this time. What motivation science tells us is that the best thought out decisions and the ones that move us to action tap into what's called the triangle of experience. All that means is noting the thoughts in your head and also the physical sensations that are registering in your body and the emotions that are coming up in your feeling center. So this time, I asked her to answer those questions from the triangle of experience. So you send a small gift with a simple card. What do you get from that? So first, your thoughts. What are you saying to yourself? And she said, I'm saying to myself, I'm letting my daughter know that I still care, that I hope she'll respond. And then I said, okay, when you think about sending a small gift with a simple card, what physical sensations register in your body? And she had to think about it for a moment because it takes a moment to get in touch with that. But what she said is, I feel lighter. I don't feel so heavy. But what's interesting is I also feel more grounded at the same time. I feel a little steadier. And I even feel a little calmer. That restless energy I get that has nowhere to go, that's not here when I think about this option. And then I said, what emotions come up when you think about this option? Small gift, simple card. And she said, certainly less guilt than doing nothing, but more self-respect. I even feel a little hope and certainly less anxiety. That restless energy is not here when I think about that option. So it seemed pretty clear. She was getting closer, maybe was right at a decision that was right for her. But I did want to ask one more question. I said, regardless of the response you get, small gift, simple card, if you don't get the response you want, will you still feel good about the decision you made and how you behaved? And she said, yes, I think so. You know what I love most about this approach? Not only do you make a better decision, it's empowering. And that's so important with estrangement because there's so much that you can't control. You can't force reconciliation. You can't love hard enough to tear down some walls. But you can decide how you show up. So when that package or card is sitting on the counter and you're trying to figure out if you're going to send it or not, go to the article connected with this video and download the Gift Dilemma worksheet and try it for yourself. Find the next right move for you. And let me know how it goes. If you need any help applying the Gift Dilemma worksheet to your own situation, please reach out to me. Here's how to book a no-cost, no-pressure 15-minute consultation with me. Sometimes the hardest part is just starting the conversation.